because Anthony's team was phenomenal and they put us under so much pressure. But in terms of ourselves, we were yesterday. It was a real, it was a head count. There was a lot of tired bodies, but we have a lot of players that want to play and want to impact. And I thought we saw that today. First half, I think we were definitely still on the plane from Seattle. We were slow. We were a yard off everything, but that was to be expected. We knew that. Plus with the new players coming in, they needed to get up to speed, and I thought they were phenomenal. Mo Adams, Bryce Duke in particular. I thought we had to take Mo off because he was on a yellow card, and I didn't want to risk anything. Same with Jairo and Noah. We brought sort of like the big guns on in the second half, and I thought the second half we controlled the play, even though they just kept going, and they had free kick after free kick. But the effort. We speak a lot about identity, and I think what we're seeing over the last 3 or 4 games, we're seeing a clear identity of team spirit and togetherness. And I think that's the start of the foundation which we want to build. We can play better football, we can get more rhythm, but today was just all about winning and being in the next round. And we've got a centre forward now that just wants to play every minute of every game and wants to score. That's scoring, who looks the real deal.
Just had to grind it out.
Yeah, it was like third round of the FA Cup. That's how it felt. I remember going to Macclesfield with Everton, and we were absolutely terrible, but we ground it out, and we just had to. We said at half time that this is not about the football, this is not about the system or the tactics. It's about winning your headers, your tackles, recovery runs, and sprinting forward, sprinting back, and we would get an opportunity. We had an opportunity where 3 or 4 opportunities straight after each other could have gone in, but for me it was about a young set of players learning how to play that kind of football in that type of atmosphere, in that type of game, which I thought it was just a brilliant game of football, and they contributed. And like I thought, obviously I knew they would because Anthony's a brilliant coach, and I was just glad that we won. They give us a scare, and you can see at the end the spirit that's building, and they all want to be together. They all want to share these moments together, and on Sunday we can make history for this club by trying to win 4 games on the bounce, which we've never done. So I think that's best console, right?
Phil, you touched on Leo obviously scoring the game-winning goal, but you guys probably don't pull this one out if not for Drake at the other end. What do you think of his performance today?
Yeah, he had the right to play today, and he was probably unlucky that Nick came back at the time he did, because I thought he played really well in Cincinnati. He looked composed. He was imposing. He does things. He does something that I think modern day keepers don't tend to do, and it's catch the ball. A lot of keepers punch. He catches the ball. He never fumbles the ball. He looks so assured, and we're working really hard with him. And I think he's got the attributes to be a real top keeper. I really do. And we're lucky to have 4 brilliant keepers. 2 young in CJ and Drake, and 2 really good experienced ones.
Can you just talk about the occasion in general? Yeah. Just having these 2 clubs play each other in Miami and all the fans and everything.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, it would be nice to have it more often. And, I think you could see it was a proper atmosphere in a stadium I've never been to. I've seen it a lot on the ESPN Plus, and even though the turf, I'd say, wasn't perfect for us, it was like an old-fashioned, I'd say, English stadium with everyone on top of you, and there's a real bubbly atmosphere, and it was just nice for Miami. I think there's a brilliant thirst for football in Miami, both where we are out in Fort Lauderdale and down here in, what do you call this, more central?
West.
So I'd say that this needs to become more often, more regular. And I'd say that with Anthony at the helm, FC Miami, we've got a brilliant opportunity to keep progressing. He's going to be, he is an outstanding coach.
So you guys move on from the soccer standpoint. How much this performance leaves some stuff to work on during the week ahead of that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any time to get out on the training pitch at this moment in time. The boys are absolutely dead in there. But what I would say is that tonight wasn't a game for the patterns that we want to work on. Tonight was the other side of the game, similar to what we showed in the second half against Seattle, and I think those qualities are qualities that every top team have. You watched probably a game this afternoon, Liverpool versus Man United. When I watch that Liverpool team, the first thing I think is their work ethic, their aggression, their tackling, their pressing, and their never say die spirit. And that's what we're trying to instill in these group of players. And the good thing is that they all want to learn, they all want to get better. You saw the reaction of the subs when they came off. They were fuming, and I love that. They wanted to stay on the pitch. They wanted to keep going, and we've got a group that's still got a lot of work to do. We've got a group that are fast learners, and the more wins we have, the better the confidence, the more belief. And like I say, I'm super proud.
You could see. Would you like to see from the team improve?
Well, I think what you get with a new team, you get glimpses. I said at the start of the season about the 15 to 20 minutes. I think now we're beginning to get a little bit more, and I still want more control. We get up to the final third an awful lot, and because of the speed of our team, we tend to just want to score every single time, and we've been working so hard on the control and patience, keeping possession in the final third, sustaining attacks, and we did it better in the second half, but we still just need to. But that's youth, that's the energy, that's the excitement, that's the desperation to want to score, and I'm not going to take that away from them. All I say to them is that sometimes you just need composure. Motta gives the team composure. Robbie Robinson gives the team composure, and Gonzalo would give the team that composure as well when he's back in at the weekend.
You could see the energy, the passion that you had after the exuberance that you had at the end when you were walking off the pitch. How much does this competition mean for you now, being in the round of 32 and moving on?
I'm going to say it's the number one competition. MLS is our bread and butter, but this for me is equal, because it gives us a chance to get us into the Champions League. I think is 4 games now to go before the final. So you said the clock's ticking down, and there's one more to go. There's going to be some really tough ties, but this is a competition that we're going to go hell for leather for. And the priority tonight, which we spoke before the game, is that forget Atlanta. Atlanta will look after itself. Tonight is the priority. We didn't want any banana skins. We didn't want to break our rhythm. And the US Open Cup, it's our first game as a club. It's our first win as a club. So that was pleasing.
That's what I was going to kind of touch on. This first chance appearing in this prestigious cup for the United States. Just what does that mean for you to pick up a win in that first one?
Yeah, I mean I've got to say, the cup competitions have always been probably one of the best memories I've ever had in football. And this feels like the same. Tonight felt like an FA Cup, honestly it did, and I don't want to disrespect the US Open Cup, but I'd say the FA Cup is probably the biggest cup competition in the world, and this felt like that, so that's a compliment in a way. You just hope that the next round can produce a tie like today, or in an atmosphere like today, because that's cup competitions. It's do or die, winner takes all. We gambled in the 70th minute with no other subs to put on because we wanted to win in 90 minutes. We couldn't afford to go to 120 minutes. It's not as if we're in a league game where you say we'll just nick a point and we'll get away with it. You have to win, which means there's a different type of intensity and nervousness and excitement and pressure, which I think my team loved.
I could ask you one last one. Yesterday you said you would go with your strongest team. Obviously, that wasn't the strongest team to start. Was that just to throw them off a little bit from the game plan, or was it you assessed players more thoroughly at practice yesterday and then came up with this?
Well, if you think about it, probably wasn't our strongest team, because Mo Adams probably will have to play but we've got not Gregory on Sunday, so he needed to play. Bryce in the last 2 games has been absolutely phenomenal. Motta was exhausted after Seattle. Probably didn't want to put him on. Robbie was the same, and you saw probably 3 or 4 glimpses of Emerson Rodriguez that got you literally off your feet. That's like, wow, that's what he can do. So he had to play, and we trust these boys. We said before the game is that if we went through the process to bring a group of players in that we all believed in, you have to trust them. And tonight we trusted our best players to go out onto the pitch to produce, and Emerson, Bryce, Mo Adams, Hyro, they all produced those players that we put trust in, and Drake as well.
Just the last one. Are you going to run a hot hand with Leo? And I mean, all of these goals that he's just knocking in right now.
Well, the one thing I can promise you that he will start on Sunday. One thing I can promise you, he'll start on Sunday. I think it's his time. I think, he lives probably an hour and a half away from the facility, and he comes in every single day. He's first in and last to leave. On the days off, he's coming in, first in, last to leave. The boy wants to go to a World Cup, and I said to him when I met him in David's office back in November, the only way you'll go to the World Cup is by scoring goals. The Ecuador manager probably isn't going to come to Miami to watch you play, but he'll read a newspaper, he'll read Michelle and Franco's columns and yourself, sorry. And he'll just keep seeing Campagna goal, Campagna goal, Campagna goal. And eventually that will get the Ecuador manager here. He's doing everything right. He's doing everything right. He sticks the ball in the back of the net. I think his goal tonight reminded me of his goal in Austin, the way he just rifled it in the back of the net. And I just got a really good feeling for the kid.